Hi, my name's Rebecca Landry, and I love to cook. So when we come to these get-togethers with the butterflies, at least one night I try to cook something. And since we're having a cold snap this trip, I figured I'd do chicken and sausage gumbo.
Perfection.
And I'm gonna go over the ingredients real quick with you guys, and then I'm gonna prep and get going, and we'll come back and show you.
Great.
Okay, basically we're going to use chicken and we're going to use sausage. Now, as a Cajun, I am used to our gumbos and our sausages and stuff. The only problem is, being from Louisiana and Cajun country, they don't sell those all over the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, sausage is a huge part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So in all my travels and cooking other places, I found a good replacement. Preferably, if you're anywhere where you can get Richards or Savoy's smoked sausage, that's what I'm going to use.
Okay.
But when you can't find that, a good alternative is Conecuh, whatever.
Conecuh sausage.
Yes.
Comes from Alabama.
It's a very good substitute. And most people will cut up a chicken and throw it in the gumbo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For years, I owned my own business and worked and raised a family and cooked dinner every night. And I'd come flying in the door maybe 7 o'clock and have to throw something together for dinner.
Sure.
And I cooked every night. So like gumbo or whatever, I was known as the pressure cooker queen because it made meals so much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But here we're at the campground, so I'm going to use, instead of chicken with bones in it, a good alternative is boneless, skinless thighs. It also helps to cut down on the fat content. But the dark meat also has a lot more flavor than the white meat does. Okay, so we're going to do boneless, skinless thighs, and we're going to do a little of Richard sausage, and we're going to use the Conecuh also.
Great.
And we're going to use chicken stock or chicken broth, and our seasonings, and of course, first you start with a roux. And if you are unable to find this anywhere, basically all it is oil in a pan, put oil in a pan, and then sprinkle in flour until it starts making a kind of a dry paste. And you're going to stir it constantly on the fire, and you're going to keep stirring and keep cooking it. And what was white before will end up turning dark, dark, dark like this.
Okay.
And that's all it is.
Got
So
it.
if you don't have it in the jar, which is so nice and easy to cook with, you can make your own. Like I said, just oil in the bottom of the pan and flour to where it makes a thick paste. And brown it real good. The darker the better. Just a little hint, if your chicken and your sausage is still a little frozen, kind of hard, it makes it so much easier to chop it.
Okay.
And
having a fancy knife.
that helps too, absolutely. So I'm just chopping,
right.
chop this into bite-sized pieces, basically. Okay, I'm getting ready to start the base of the gumbo. And you don't have to use this, you know, I grew up using water, but as I got older and started using chicken stock or chicken broth, and it gives it a lot more flavor and richer flavor.
So you've got this really cool pan or boiler.
It's called
pot.
a pan cooker,
Okay.
and it's made for, especially for camping and stuff like that.
But you've got it on top of a standard gas or propane stove.
Yeah, the little butane cookers or whatever.
Or butane,
And I think you can even put this in the fire.
Yeah, okay.
But let's see.
So did you need the second stock?
Yes.
Okay, so we got 2 containers of stock.
And we're going to try something a little different to incorporate the roux
Okay.
into the water or whatever. I normally use a stick blender because it incorporates and mixes it really well in a couple of seconds.
Sure.
but I didn't have one in my camper, so
Okay. We're going to use a whisk.
we're going to use a whisk. Okay, and it's just my preference. The roux will settle. The floury part will settle to the bottom, and you may have some oil at the top. I just pour that off.
Okay.
And don't use it. Save a few calories. And also, if I were home, I would stick this jar of roux in the microwave for 1 minute.
Okay.
And what that does is it just heats it up and it softens again.
Right. More pliable.
It's hard now.
How many are you using the whole jar?
Nope. For this size, I usually use about half a jar.
Half of the hard part.
Yes.
Okay.
So half of the jar in, a good size Dutch oven or whatever, soup pot or something.
Basically, if you're using 2 stocks containers, we'll use that as the measurement. Then you would use half of the roux.
Here. And see, it's hard and in chunks, so
Sure.
you have to watch that the chunks want to settle to the bottom,
Right.
and it can burn. So we don't want that to happen. And that's where, like I said, the immersion blender works really, really well to incorporate the stuff. But we're out in the middle of the woods, so
And now what are you putting in? Just what was on the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
we're out in the woods. So
Yeah, how about this view from, who wouldn't want to cook
yes,
in
it's
front of
wonderful.
this? There's a sunset coming over the lake. I hope it translates onto the screen. It probably won't, but it is a beautiful spot right here.
Okay, so I'm going to use a little whisk instead. Stabbing down here,
Right.
and you're going to find chunks of that stuff.
Sure.
As it settles to the bottom. So I'm stabbing just to break it up a little smaller.
All right, so when that's all ready to go, we'll come back and start watching you add things and season.
Okay, so I've whisked it for just a couple of minutes, and you see I'm not getting a whole lot of chunks anymore.
Right.
It's pretty much melted into the liquid and incorporated well.
Starting a little steam in there,
I'm gonna
coming
throw
up.
in my seasoning blend, which is bell pepper, onion, garlic, parsley, whatever.
Frozen, all right. Frozen section, make it easy
Frozen,
on
fresh,
yourself.
Whatever you like. Okay, so now we are going to get ready to incorporate the rest of our stuff. I forgot my garlic paste that I normally use.
Okay.
But I do have some freeze-dried garlic here, so I'm gonna
All right.
sprinkle a little of that in there.
Healthy portion, because we all like
According to me,
garlic. We all
Never
like
had too
garlic.
much garlic.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got our veggies in there. We've got our garlic in there. I'm gonna stir it up, make sure again that all the roux has melted into the liquid. Looks like it has. Again, this is Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning.
Okay.
It's from my neck of the woods.
Okay.
So you may not find it, but I get it at Publix in Southwest Florida, down in Cape Coral. So, and the one thing I find about Publix is anything that you need that you can't find, if you ask them, they will bring it.
Yep.
Like I have them, they'll bring crawfish in for me.
All right.
And I can get it there instead
All
of
right.
having to bring it all in from Louisiana. So I'm going to season with this, and this is a mixture of salt, pepper, garlic. It's a general seasoning.
But just
And-
considered a Cajun seasoning, so it's
Right.
going to have a little kick to it. Slight.
A little,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
This is the regular one. There is a hotter one, but because Cajun food is not necessarily hot. No.
Right. Not everything.
Flavorful.
Okay.
Okay, and this is made with. You use it like salt, and the one thing I'm going to tell you, roux tends to take a lot of salt, so I have to use more salt than I normally would.
Okay.
Cooking when I'm cooking with a roux. So keep that in mind,
All right.
and just season to taste. Okay, I am going to go ahead and throw in my sausage.
All right. I'm going to get out of the splash zone.
Yes!
Uh-oh. Sausage down. Wow, this is going to be so good.
And it's really pretty quick.
Once it's in.
Yes.
All right, and then we have the chicken going
Especially
down.
because I'm using boneless skinless chicken. Okay, so now the chicken is going in, and again, bite-sized cuts. When it's just thawing out, still a little frozen, makes it so much easier to cut it.
Oh, be careful. So you're back. We're taking a little gander down in here on this gumbo to see what it's looking like. And
it's looking good.
It is looking gumbo-esque. Nice brown color. Everything's cooking. The seasonings. It smells wonderful.
Yes, it does.
Now, while we were gone, you did a little magic over in your rig and made some rice, right?
Yep.
And so, do you have a rice maker?
Actually, what I normally use at home is one of the little plastic rice makers for $5 at Walmart. In the microwave. It's amazing. Love it, love it, love it.
So how did you make this rice?
I made it in the microwave at home yesterday before I came.
Smart.
And then I put it in my little low energy draw cooker.
Okay.
Electric cooker.
Okay.
That
and I see that it's hot because I can see the
I have one that I cook with at home,
on top.
and I cook everything in it, and it's very low draw.
Wow, that's
so
great.
You can use it for car camping and stuff like that.
Great.
Very low draw. It's 300 and 600.
Okay.
And so we've got rice here, warmed up, ready to go. I just need to taste it, make sure the seasoning is okay, and then I don't need anything else. And like I said about roux, takes a lot more salt, I find.
What kind of salt is that?
This is a special salt. It's smoked sea salt flakes.
Smoked sea salt.
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw a little in there.
Okay.
And we're good to go.
All right. So we're gonna let it stir. We're gonna let it stew. Just a few more minutes. The rice is ready. We've got our bowls. We got fancy camp spoons. We got real people spoons, not just camp plastic spoons.
Only because I can't find the plastic ones.
You were forced to use the silver at the campground. Well, listen, this is great. I am so looking forward to this all day. I knew you were going to be cooking this. Everybody's been talking about it. It's the talk of the camp. I don't know who's going to show up tonight. But Rebecca, thank you so much. We have really learned a ton. This is a recipe I've never seen anybody cook. So this has been absolutely thrilling. So thank you so much for sharing your campground cuisine. Everybody's going to be enjoying it tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye-bye.